Hey, Local 5, it's Dave. Just wanted to give you a quick update on what's been going on with the collective bargaining campaign and the pursuit of that endeavor as we move forward in 2018 and start to kick this thing off. There's been a tremendous amount of work behind the scenes as we work with our executive board, the campaign committee, and the PAC committee, as well as our partners at the state and the political advisors that we have with them, and the international and the political gurus back in Washington, D.C., as we start to line out exactly the foundation for this campaign moving forward. We're looking at a couple different perspectives. Obviously, we've got two different election cycles that we could partake in or be a participant in: the November election this year, or the April election the following year, the municipal election. We're also pursuing what's the most advantageous for us as far as an ordinance change or actually a charter change, and those kind of correspond to which election cycle that we're going to be in. And there's a whole lot of minutia that kind of supports or detracts from which of those cycles that we're going to go for. So we're actually pursuing a poll right now. Actually, we just wrapped up the ballot language, or I'm sorry, the polling language on that today that reflects the ballot language, so that we make sure that we have the right wording on our actual campaign ballot initiative that will reflect the most favorable results, because that language, once we submit it to the city clerk, is in fact what we will be in fact using for the campaign. So we're vetting that language out, and we're also vetting out which cycle is going to create the most favorable outcome for us for our campaign as we move forward to present this to the citizens of Colorado Springs. So that's kind of where we're at. We're hoping that that polling data will be back to us by the general membership meetings in February. And I really encourage everybody to come out, not only to understand what the outcome of that polling is and the direction that we're going to head, but if it's going to be the November election cycle, we really need to make sure that we're literally kicking off a campaign starting in February that's going to need to entail as big of a punch and a bang that we can to lift this thing up off the ground, and also to make sure that it's a very successful and sustainable campaign all the way through November. Obviously, if it's in April, we'll also know that. So we'll have a little bit more time, but we still need to make sure that we have a firm understanding by all of our members of exactly where we're at in this process and the details of how we're going forward. So we're really excited and looking forward to getting that information back. Like I said, we just vetted that polling language today, so we're looking for those results back in early February. So excited for that next step in that process. We also have some excellent news. Excuse me, as our contingent went up to the state meeting today and met with our partners from the state. We knew that from the beginning that this was going to be a $500,000 plus campaign. With that, Local 5 made a commitment of $200,000, and we were anticipating initially in our campaign to have about $100,000 from our state partners and rounding out that campaign from the international. When that ask went forward, our state partners actually blessed us very much today in the fact that they're going to match our commitment to this campaign of $200,000 on a dollar for dollar basis as needed as the campaign rolls forward and those funds are necessary. They're going to step up in a grant of $200,000 to support this effort. This not only demonstrates their understanding and belief, as well as the internationals, of how important this actual this campaign initiative and effort is going to be, not only for our local, but for the state and for the international. So great news in that three-legged stool of us, the state, and the international all coming together to work to make this campaign successful. We're also having meetings with leadership from the international at the end of this week, I believe, at the ALTS conference, as well at the end of February and the beginning of March during the anniversary kickoff for the IAFF, the 100-year centennial on that, and during the legislative conference as well out in Washington, D.C. We'll be meeting with leadership and the campaign gurus, the political geniuses that are back there in Washington, D.C., as we formulate the plans to move forward. So some exciting news in the fact that we're looking for and anticipating some specific directions from this poll, and also getting very much, I should say, more favorable news or results from our state partner than we anticipated. So things are really looking up, and things are going in the right direction, and they're really going quick, and we're really going to encourage everybody to come out in those February general membership meetings to realize the fact that, again, if it's going to be the November cycle, we're really going to need to be underway and lay out the plan to membership of what this is going to look like pursuing this campaign for an upcoming election in November. Again, if it's in April, we're going to be able to slow down a little bit, but again, in those meetings upcoming in February, we'll formulate and lay out those plans on exactly where the process is going and how much and how soon our membership involvement needs to really to be in that process to make sure that we're successful. So great news from the state, more than anticipated. The commitments that we have from our partnerships are going to make this campaign an incredible, the potential for this campaign to be successful even that much more so, as they've definitely stepped up beyond what we anticipated. So just to let you know, kind of that's where we're at. There's been a lot of effort and a lot of energy and a lot of work behind the scenes as we're really ready to pull the trigger on this thing. We're super excited about how this is going and how this is proceeding and how much support that we're getting with everybody that's been involved. So I thank you for your time. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call or anybody on the executive board, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.